I as a surveillance officer and manager for surveillance immediate response, I know that vaccine does play a very major, big role in terms of disease prevention and reduction in the in infections and also severity of the disease. We've had quite a good number of vaccines, TB and polio, measles, tetanus. There's all kinds of vaccines that we have in the country, and our children have been receiving it. I've received it when I was a child. So COVID vaccine is no difference. I think there's been some issues on about how quick the vaccine came about. And this is what I shared through people that I had a conversation with. COVID vaccine came about quicker than the other vaccines because all the available resources, whether scientists and knowledge and skills, they all came together because of the pandemic as one team, so that they can produce the vaccine in time to help vaccinate people and reduce this control this pandemic. So that's the way I see why it came out so fast. And I asked the question because they asked this question because if the vaccine can come out so fast, unlike before, people can have questions of why should that happen, and there could be errors, or there could be those systems may have been flawed, in terms of that testing time before it's approved. As I mentioned earlier, because the world has come together, even though those systems that were in place, they still follow. But I think it reduced in terms of protection because the world came together. That's my understanding. The scientists, the laboratory cooperation between various labs and various research institutes, and that's why we have this vaccine more quicker. But I don't think they followed the system that was there before for other vaccines. I think in terms of vaccine hesitancy by the public, I think it also comes down to the top bureaucrats, the top intellectuals, the top health management staff, playing a major role. I think we probably not have, I feel myself that we haven't stepped up enough to gain the confidence of the people, the public. Like for example, if I know our Minister and Health Secretary and Prime Minister have done a great job in terms of going public and getting themselves vaccinated and putting out media statements or that, but when you go by province, that's quite not the same. Some provinces had their provincial leaders taking the lead in terms of launching the vaccine, getting themselves vaccinated, speaking to the people. We've visited some provinces, they haven't done that, and that's sad because people, they trust their leaders, and they trust their elected leaders, they trust the provincial administration or the provincial health officers and health officials. If we cannot show that this vaccine is safe, this vaccine will protect the spread of the virus, how do we expect people to change their attitude to come and get a vaccine? I think they have not seen that more publicly, more wide, more continuous information to them that the vaccine is safe and it's going to do a lot more good than bad. So that's I think that's my view. And I think for me, for the other reasons, especially when they said that vaccine is going to make the world come to end so quickly, or you will go to a bad place like hell, they call. I don't believe that, because I think along the way in my life I've experienced the talk of 666 and certain numbers and figures making up to the end of the world. We've had I think that came out when we had bank cards introduced in Papua New Guinea for the first time, and all those that go to church or for some one reason or another, they believe in something. They said, we can't have bank cards because our money will be controlled somewhere, and then we will end up having no money, or 666 will be written on our forehead or something like that. And that disappeared. And they were when that was introduced, they were buying everything by cash in the shops, and the world did not come to end. And I can remember when the NID was trying to be, introduced in Papua New Guinea. It was a mass outcry about Papua New Guineans. But now, Papua New Guineans are slowly getting an NID, getting themselves registered, because it's a global requirement. And if you want to travel, you need to have an identification. If you want to go to the bank and get a loan, or you want to do any business in Papua, you need to have an ID. So that's now passed now. I think and when the mobile phones came in this country, the same story. But the world did not come to end. We are here, the same people, and now we are saying that this vaccine is brought into this world to kill some race, or make this, whoever got a vaccine will go to hell, or get the satanic number. I just totally disagree with that, because I've had so many vaccines when I was a childhood, and I've lived with it. I'm still living. I got my second shot, and I'm due for my second shot, and I think it's good for myself and good for others, because if you are vaccinated, what it does is simple. Two things. One, it reduces the risk for you to get more severe form of the disease, so that it saves your life. And secondly, it stops from you spreading the disease to others. So I think there's more benefit than no good, and that it's very rare for any form of bad reaction. So and I think we just need to accept that the vaccine is good, but I think we need more advocacy from the very top level down to where our local health workers are, and also government officials. And also, I think we need to listen to the right people. The information that we are getting, especially the public, is from the Ministry of Health. So I think the source of information, it's so conflicting. There's a whole lot of rubbish going in social media. If people can wait and listen to the health authorities and the government, I think they will get the correct information to make the right choices. At the moment, it's voluntary. It's not compulsory, but it'll be good for you to make a decision to get vaccine, because, as I said, it reduces your risk of getting severe form of disease and get yourself, you die eventually, and also spreading the disease to others who are potentially vulnerable, especially the elderly and those who have other underlying medical conditions. That's generally my view on the vaccines.